Alright, working on the Maytag here again. Got the carburetor, and I was going to make a flange for it because we're going to have it. It's going to come off of this little hole here and sit right like that. So I got to make a little bended pipe and a flange. But something I want to show you guys before I even start. You see how nice and pretty this carburetor is? Well, it's probably 80 years old or more. It was sent to me by Welder CSR, and it was sent by a company that actually sells Briggs parts and everything. But I was looking at it, and I was looking at the one hole, and the one hole sort of looked a little oblong. So then I looked at it even a little closer, and seen, I don't know if you can see it, I don't know how well this camera's going to focus, but there's like some teeth mark on the ends there. So that made me look at it even a little further, and then I turned it sideways here, and I could actually see a slight bend to that flange. So let me stick it in the device and show you how far off that is. Alright, I got using a device here, and got a straight edge here up against it, and I don't know if you can see that, but it's a good 16th of an inch there gap. Now chances are it might not have created any problems, but you know, because it does have a pretty thick gasket, but you know, it's one thing less that you have to worry about, you know. Right, here's a piece of metal I was going to make the flange out of, and I checked that, and that's perfect, you know. I mean, that thing's flat as flat can be. And here's the carburetor. Let me put that on there. Set it on there. I don't know if you see that, but if you check this thing out here, look at the way that's rocking and rolling like Chuck Berry there. So, you know, it's nothing that we can't fix, you know. But if we hadn't caught that, you know, that could have caused problems down the line there. So, when you get parts, check them. You know, especially used parts, check them, and you never know what you're going to find. You see, when I first seen that, I said, "Man, that's beautiful," and it still is. It's just I just have to file that flat, and we're good to go. But good thing we caught that. Alright, let's continue on. Alright, we got it laid out here on a piece of steel. I'm going to tap and I'm going to drill and tap my holes first. That way if I mess it up, then I didn't waste all my time cutting it out and shaping it. So we'll see how that works out. Instead of cutting it out, shaping it and everything, and then drilling the holes and find out I screwed them up, I was off by a 64th or so, right? Alright, let's do that. Alright, you thought I was kidding in case I messed something up. Well, it just so happens that we snapped a drill bit off in there. Got this one done alright, but this snapped off, so I'm going to try and get that out of there. And if I can't get out of there without messing it up, then I'll just start with a new piece of steel. Alright. Alright, I tried to get that out. I spent 10 minutes on it and couldn't get it out. So it's just as easy to lay it out again. And I got it drilled and tapped and everything lines up, so now I'm going to put the center hole in there and then shape it. Okay. Alright, tough part's done. Now I just have to cut a few sides off there and put it on a belt sander, and it's pretty much done. Alright, finish that up. Came out pretty good. And I filed that other part flat, so I'm pretty happy with we're on one hand again. I'm pretty happy with the way it came out. Here we go. Alright. You can't see no light behind that, so you're not going to get any better than that. Might look like you see some light, but you don't. That's as flat as you're going to get it. Alright. I bolted that on there. You know, I can't tell which is the Briggs flange and which is the one I made. How about that? I guess I had to make up for this over here, huh, Anthony? Remember that? Let's forget about that. Alright, what we're going to do now is, I got this piece of pipe here. I don't know where I got it or where it's from, but I had a little racer. Cut the threads off of there a little bit to see if that pipe would fit in there. And it did. And it's loose, you know, but we're not using them threads. It just tells me that I can cut that pipe down. It'll still have plenty of thick wall on there. Because you can actually see there's still some threads left. But now what we're going to do is I'll have one of the boys weld this piece on. This is a straight piece. I don't want to go straight. You know, straight just wouldn't look right. You know, that's longer than it would be there, but straight will put this thing out here. So if you can imagine, get that out of the way. It would be there, and it wouldn't look right. You know, I mean, you got the flywheel there and everything else. And I was going to go on a 90 here. Come off on a 90. And that would look alright. But what I'm thinking now is maybe a 45. And that would put that dead center. And that would just about put the fuel lines on the bottom straight. So I'm going to run past the guys, see what they say. But I think I might do that. I might go with just a 45 coming out of there. It'll be easier to bend anyway, too. You know, a 90 would be a tight bend. So, alright, let's find something else to do. Alright, got a little racer with me here now. What he's going to do, he's going to put a hole, that little hole there, he's going to match it up to this little cylinder here. He's using his little guide and everything. Little drill guide. Alright, go ahead, buddy.
Alright, buddy.
Alright, little racer has a pin through here. That's where he's going to put on, that's what's going to hold that on. That's going to be our pull start, but what we got to do now is put sand. We put sand in this pipe here, and that's going to be where's the carburetor?
I'm in the way.
Yeah. We've got to make a little pipe, a little 45 from here to there. So we filled that with sand, and we're going to try to bend that without crushing it. We're going to heat it up. Alright, let's see what we can do with that, buddy. We'll have to put a cap on that. Like I said, we filled it with sand. That keeps it from collapsing. Alright. Here's what we rigged up. We're going to try and bend this thing with. Just 2 pins. I think they're old wrist pins from an old engine or something. And we're holding them in there. And show them what you're going to do, Race. You're going to just stick it in between there, and then just bend it like that. And when that's hot, they should bend like butter. But we're going to have to get a 45 and see exactly where we're going to want it. Alright. Alright, we're going to heat this up. Try and get a cherry red.
Drop it before it's getting hot.
Alright. Hope all the moisture's out of that sand, or we're making a bomb.
I think there's enough room in the fridge for this spot.
Looks like it's heating up pretty good. I got my 45 gauge here. That's what we want. Oh yeah, look at that. I shouldn't be in the way.
You were strapped.
I was.
Cherry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd give that a try.
I'll grab the torch from you, Brian. Trade.
Switch. I wanted it bent the other way. Can you see?
Really?
I can't get too close.
Good.
It looks pretty good, yeah.
You good?
I think so. Let's see what it looks like. That's pretty good. I mean, you get a little bit of kink, but it's about as good as you're going to get. Alright. Emptying the sand out now.
Oh, man. Made glass.
Yeah, look at that.
Oh, it's all out now.
Alright. I'm going to go pick up pizza, and when I come back, these guys will probably have this together. Alrighty. Alright, looks like a little racer's miking this thing up here.
Yeah.
Got to get this little pipe to fit inside.
how close we are.
Huh. So what is this?
Pretty close.
I guess they make about 1 billion different.
Are you gonna sand the rest of it?
Yeah.
Or file
They
it?
make
We'll
several
file and
different
sand it.
versions,
Is this one specifically for seven motor driving, or is it just a random in and out kind of
yeah.
thing?
You can do anything.
All right, we'll race one home for now. He got this pipe here so it fits in there. I'm gonna have to do a little more file on it to get it to go in. Right now it goes in about 1/4 inch. We want it to go in about maybe 1 inch or so, and then you get a set screw on the side there. But once that goes in, it's just gonna barely come off the block, and then I'll cut it off right about here and put the carburetor on. So there's a thing. The whole pipe's only gonna be about maybe 1 inch long. That's it. Okay. So I guess that's enough for this. Alright, see you later. Alright, it's the next day, and I spent a couple hours filing this down and everything, and got a real snug fit. And if you see in there, it comes, got plenty of space there. It comes in pretty far, and it just has to go past this little set screw here. But that's so tight, you know, that's just a tight fit. But here's the carburetor. Try to do this left-handed. Gotta get one of the boys to weld that on there, weld that flange on, and that's where we want it. If you can see from up here, it's right about the middle of the engine. There we go. Right about the middle of the engine, and it looks pretty good. And then that means the gas line. I don't know if you can see the gas lines down there, but there's not going to be much of a gas line. It's only going to be about 1 inch, and they line up pretty good. So we're doing pretty good. Things are moving along pretty good now. We're happy. All right. See you later.